Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer, and I'm here to build and to talk and to hang out with you. Um, hello. We're waiting for a few more folks to join us as always. You know, the first couple minutes of a stream is just waiting for people to pop in to be like, "Oh yeah, I want to jump in there." Um, if you'll indulge me for a few moments of just relaxing conversation while we get things together. First and foremost, Harold, thank you very much for hosting the stream. I do appreciate that very much. Um, and yeah, I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote in there. If you're a subscriber and you have the Bear Cave emote, throw that in there. Um, Thanks for everybody who's already joined us. Like I said, we're going to wait a couple minutes. We'll see what's what. I'm also kind of keeping my eye on polls have closed in the New York primary, Democratic primary race. So I'm kind of interested in that to see what happens. What with me being a New Yorker and all. Um, and also, there are not just the governor's race here in New York State, also locally. There are a few other things that pertain to me, particularly in the civil courts. There are two people who have previously been in the civil court looking to continue that I kept my eye on. Hello, Road. Lashbrook, both of you, hello. Thanks for joining me. Not to get too political here. Obviously, I'm political in my those that line up with my social beliefs and all that, and I'm always willing to chat about that. I generally don't talk about election coverage, although I am wearing my I voted sticker because it's nice to have that on. Because I did vote, and the New York City I voted sticker is cool. I think as far as stickers go for that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye out while we wait to see if a few more folks will join us before we start building. We are working on our Deathscythe Hell, um, a high grade, and I did have somebody ask me about that. They were like, "Why are you building a high grade? Why don't you build the master grade? Because there's not a master grade of this particular kit. You can get the master grade in the original Deathscythe and the custom from Endless Waltz, but not the Deathscythe Hell, which is the rebuild of the kit. Um, so, in order to do that, I had to do a little finagling and go with the high grade, which is not my standard kit, as you know. It's not a thing that I normally build, but it felt important to be a completionist and finish up all my Deathscythes. So, once this is done, I'll have built every kind of Deathscythe. You may have noticed it. I'll mention it later in my Amazon wish list. I also included in my wish list the Super Deform Deathscythe because I've never built one of those. I figured if I'm going to be a completionist, I might as well try to get everything. Really be a completionist. So yeah, right now we're just waiting a couple more minutes. If you are, yeah, we had a few subscribers to the Bear Cave emote in there. I'm going to throw it in again. If you're a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote. Let the people know that you either use your Twitch coin or you use your actual $5 a month to support the stream, which is rad of you, and thank you. Um, my numbers have dropped a little bit. I'll be honest. As we start having Twitch Prime become less cool, as people hit their year renewal on that, it starts to hurt several folks. I won't be affected too much. Most of y'all just spend $5, or maybe you'll keep Twitch Prime because even with ads, it's still fine. It's fine. But I hope people will keep up. But you know, it dropped a little bit. I will admit that. But you know, I'm not purely focused on numbers. I'm also focused on people watching it and enjoying it and watching it later on YouTube. Hello, people on YouTube watching this later. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick refresh of Twitter, see if any results or any precincts are reporting in. Probably not right at 9:06 p.m. Locally. As of right now, nothing. But I'm probably going to check back in a little bit. But let's go to our main feed here. After a quick little, just check this one quick thing. Looking at this. Okay. All right. And then, yeah, let's go to our Deathscythe overhead feed. It's the overhead feed. Thumbs up, overhead feed. Um, Put this a little closer to me. Looks good. Okay. So you can see the pieces that we have completed on this kit. We have done the head and the chest and the arms here. We have done the legs, as you can see up there. And now we are working on the waist. This skirt is nice because I do enjoy the fact that the skirt is one big piece on the back. That is very helpful because, as you know, my least favorite part of any kit is the skirt. They just have a tendency to fall apart very easily, and I'm not a fan. As always, if you're working on any kits, you know, you don't have to be working along while I work. If you're doing any model kit building, doing a Lego assembly, putting together IKEA furniture, always feel free to send me a tweet about it. I always retweet when people are doing builds. I love knowing that people are working on stuff and seeing stuff. And sometimes people put up kits that I'm like, wait, what's that? What? Why don't I know about that? Because as always, y'all seem to be way more knowledgeable about kits that are coming out. I don't read the blogs, so I don't often know about the next big thing, and sometimes I lean on y'all for that, um, which is rad, and I appreciate it very much. So yeah, we're just doing some snipping here, getting some stuff ready for assembly. I'm very excited. Oh yeah, we can do this. It is nice and cool in the room that I am building in right now, aka the Bear Cave, aka my bedroom. So I'm able to do my primary method of having the instructions right in front of me and building over them, and then I'm not going to get sweat all on it like I did just a couple months ago. Actually, honestly, just a couple weeks ago, it was pretty bad. Yeah, building. Okay, we got that there, and then all right. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, I love seeing stuff. Of course, I'll also mention later. You know, it's in the show description for those watching on YouTube, but I'll put the link into um, the Discord. And it's always cool when people pop into the Discord and post photos of stuff they're working on. I like seeing that. Discord is pretty quiet. It's mostly me advertising things, and then sometimes y'all promoting yourselves, and I'm fine with that. I never thought it was going to be a wild west of deep discussion or whatever, but it's cool that people are into it. All right, so that is the waist. Really, that or the skirt. That's all it is. Nice and easy. There'll be two prong things you put on there after assembly. That'll be the side pieces. So now we're going to work on our backpack, which is uh, the stealth like sonar jamming thing components that goes on the shoulders. Yeah, that jams the signals so that the Deathscythe can just kind of do whatever it needs to do. It's the C38 goes in there. Okay, I tried building some stuff with Legos a few weeks ago and found I would rather have a guide than just random stuff. So I just have boxes of broken up kits. So I'm not nearly building much. Yeah, road. I mean, I remember as a kid, I certainly hit the point where I would just build whatever. I definitely had that phase. I also, I think in general preferred to do kits instead of just free form. One thing I did often really enjoy um, was um, augmenting kits. Like after I was done with a spaceship, I would take random pieces and kind of add them, put them where I thought they would go better, that kind of thing. I did that quite a bit in my youth. Um, but yeah, just like here's a big bag, build whatever. Um, Part of the fun for me is following the instructions, is following the kit, the planning. And I found a bunch of old things, but I built were free form. Yeah, I mean, Road, you're nailing on the head. This is to me, I very much enjoy doing this, and a large part of it is the fact that it is incredibly relaxing. We will be working on a Lego kit after this build is done, because I do not expect this to take 2 hours. I don't know how long it'll take, but it won't take 2 hours. I know that. We will be working on the U-Wing fighter. That is a Star Wars kit. Back to the Star Wars Lego kits. It's been a while since we did one. I'm excited about it. I still have that dragon, but this kit was purchased off my Amazon wish list, and I always build those next. So the next two kits we will be building after this one will be the U-Wing, and then we will do the Bawu RE100. I have to figure out how to say that. I think I'm going to say RE100 instead of Re100. Re100 feels weird, so I think but it's me. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to say that. I forget the name of it, but there's a community out there for building little mechs out of Lego pieces you may have lying around. Ooh, Lastbrook, I kind of like that. Using your old leftover Lego pieces to make little mechs. That's fun. All right, so we need 3 of these. I do miss sometimes working with the PC pieces here, these plastic pieces. They're rubberized. It's nice to play with them now and again. I don't get to that often, especially when I'm doing master grade stuff. All right, so we need H and H. Well, the real grade didn't use them at all, so it's nice to get back to that. 9. 2 9, so okay. 9. And then, okay. And then H16. That does sound neat. I'm definitely interested in checking that out. Like having kits have a second home. Find new uses for them. That is pretty cool. Speaking of which, I do have to buy more Lego before PAX Unplugged, but I do have time for that. Gotta do some work on PAX Unplugged. Some of the little Lego mech building, at least, is associated with a tabletop war game called Mobile Frame Zero, which some of you may know from its sister game, Firebrand, which Friends of the Table is using a couple times. Oh, yeah, okay. I do know a little bit about that. I don't know a lot about it. Hello, Zorbs. Welcome. It's been a little bit. Happy to have you here, Zorbs. Welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. We are working on our Deathscythe Hell high grade. One of the several I think we've only done one other high grade, 2 other high grades. We had that like weird one that was based on a video game that I got like for real cheap because it was like a Bandai sale, and we built the G Gundam Master Gundam with this horse because I just wanted to fucking build that. I put a couple more high grades in the Amazon wish list because they are kits that, I'm going to be a Gundam wing completionist. I'll never be a Gundam completionist. That's a pipe dream, but I can be a wing completionist. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so GH8. Build our backpack here. Oh, I pulled the wrong thing out. No, that's the right thing. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And then F. I bought my first master grade this week. I'm super excited to build it. Sorbs, that's awesome. Congratulations on your first master grade. My biggest advice is obviously take your time. Think twice, cut once. The old wood strategy. But yeah, just like take your time with it. Get a sponger or something else to help wiggle pieces out in case you do a order wrong. But yeah, good luck with it. Master grades are the grade I really like building in. Obviously, I mean the 1/100 scale is my preferred scale as we clearly know. But yeah, I really do enjoy working in this scale. It's very rewarding. So apparently, in 1996, times two used to be like it would be bold and right here. In 1996, times two is in the bottom uh, because I need two of these, and I forgot I need two of these. So that's actually kind of cool. Um, it wasn't a community so much as a game. Yes. Yeah, Lashbrook. Oh yeah, Zorbs. There's so much detail in a master grade, so much more than you're going to find in anything else. So this for instructional purposes. Let's highlight this. Um, if you can see here, let's get up there. Step 9. If you look in the bottom of step 9, there's a little bit of text right there, and that means do it twice. Now, in other kits, later kits, kits that are not 12 years old, they're going to make the times two very big and bold. Um, this did not do that. So that's a good lesson to learn. I'm excited to be able to impart that information to y'all. That I'm going to have to do this step again, which is fine. Um, totally cool. But I was like, oh, I need two of those, huh? But that's just part of the process of learning, especially when you're doing a kit that is old like this. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of imparting knowledge, um, I don't want to say it's for sure happening, but there is a chance that I'm going to be doing a little of instruction outside the stream on model kit building. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen or not, but right now it looks like that might happen, and I will share details as I get to know them so that people will be able to watch that live while it happens. But that's the plan anyway right now is that I will have some time to instruct someone as they build their first model kit. Um, so I'm excited about that because that sounds like it could be cool. All right, so I did one of these. This is that one. I'm going to do the other one. Other G pieces here. Um, yeah, I mean, master grade is kind of where I like to build. And obviously, it takes a few episodes here to build a master grade. You can really see it come together. There's something interesting about the real grade kits. I don't necessarily love the 144 scale. I like building kits big like this. Um, but I will say I did enjoy the full mechanics line. The full mechanics were cool. For those that didn't watch that part of the series, I assembled kits. The full mechanics line is kind of like a real grade, but it's in the 100 scale, and you build the whole skeleton before you build the rest of the kit, and it's kind of cool. Those are pretty cool. Like once you do it once, I feel like it's probably loses some of its charm over time, but in the building, in the moments of building, I really did enjoy working on that. Uh-huh. Um, I mentioned this on Twitter, and it got some replies. I kind of fell down a rabbit hole of watching like knife repair and old tool repairs. Um, and one thing I noticed is that they don't have narration to them. They're Some of them are not sped up. Most of them are sped up footage. And so somebody said, "Oh, it's probably ASMR." But the sped up footage I feel like wouldn't be good for ASMR. Now, I will say I don't get the tingles. So ASMR doesn't work for me in the way that it does for other people. So some of that is conjecture on my part, wondering why, thinking it wouldn't be for that. While it might clearly be that is the reason. But I was mostly just surprised because like I don't know. I then someone linked me to a series that I was like, yes, this is what I want. This has narration in it. That's what I'm into. I like the narration parts. I don't know. I just like hearing people talk about it. I like hearing experts talk about a thing. Um, these are certainly not new um, out there on the interwebs, but you might not have seen it. Um, Lazy Game Reviews. I'm not talking about his reviews or his breakdown videos, but LGR has a series mostly filmed from camera, like on glasses, of him going into rural Goodwills and like doing Goodwill finds, his thrift store finds, and that's narrated, and I find those to be awesome. I really, really dig those. It's just something I'm into. Like I'm not a collector by any means, but I really do like those videos and like seeing the things that that guy finds. That's very interesting to me. Yeah, LGR thrifts are great. Uh, I have now watched all of them, and so that I was like following this thing to like sharpest knife made out of smoke, and it's fucking fascinating the techniques this person is imparting. But I was like, I wish that there was conversation or like check out. I dumped this thing in acid, and now I'm rebuilding it. I'm cutting out all the old wood and putting new wood in. I'm making a new sheath for this sword, but I'm not saying shit about shit. Sorry, I don't talk in these videos. And I'm like, but what's up? Uh, yes. So, Lashbrook, he does. Now, apparently, as the series has gone on, he's done it for several years. It's harder and harder to do them. But he does, like, shoot, like, over the period of, like, a month and then compile the stuff together. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, yes, there are places where you can still find like electronics. He's looking for like games and electronics and stuff like that. Um, Now I found out because I was doing a small project here that I'm now going to lean on the internet to complete. Um, I was doing a bit of research on the internet and went and hit all the Goodwills in my area, New York. New York Goodwills do not have electronics gear. If they do, they were all out the day I went to look at a bunch. Four Goodwills and a Salvation Army, zero electronics that I was looking for. Um, I don't know if that's a trend. I don't know if that's it for everybody and get used to it. If that's just New York, but like almost exclusively clothes and toys and that kind of thing. I found like a little bit of electronics here and there, but for the most part, like nothing. And it was kind of surprising. I was expecting to find something, but did not. All right, so we're putting our shoulder pieces on here, which we need for the cloak, invisibility, shielding. And we can put our backpack on like so. And then there's one piece to put on the skirt, which is F12. I'm one that linked the drill press series. Yes. Yeah, you linked me a drill press video. People can go look the thread there on my Twitter. I retweeted it because that's what I'm looking for. Now, does it help that this is this gentleman has an accent different from mine that is speaking about the things that they are building? 100% it does. Oh yeah, baby. You know I love it when people who don't sound just like fucking me talk about things. You know I'm into that. That's very good. All right, so now we're going to put our skirt on there, our waist on there. It's coming together. We can build. Hey, let's build a Deathscythe. Come on, y'all. Let's get together and build ourselves some blades. Let's put some blades on some things and build ourselves a Deathscythe. All right, so gotta build a little things in here. Use an H. There. We're gonna build a scythe, and I'm very excited about building this scythe. I hope you also are excited about me building a scythe. All right, and then I need 11 and 10 and 18. 18 goes down here. 11 and 10. Yeah. Start shredding on the guitar. Hell yeah! Yeah, we gotta build our scythe. We gotta shred some stuff with our beam, our unnatural nonsense beam weapon here that we're building. No, I need a 15 as well. Let's see. As we do this, I can start talking about some anime. I talked about it on Saturday. The latest Cells at Work. It was really solid. It was really good. Good character work. Very good after the previous episode. Did not leave me thrilled, as it was focused on a character I don't care about. So that was good. And then, let's see. Is there anything? I somewhat enjoyed this week's Overlord from season 3. It is doing. It focuses on the humans. There's going to be a big attack in the next episode. A bunch of people are going to die. It's mostly unnecessary, and I'm not. Yeah, just not really loving this one. I was hoping the tail end I would like more. I think I really liked the first episode and maybe the third episode. The first episode of the season I thought was great because it was the things I like. Um, but yeah, overall I'm not super into what has happened on the season. Too much of the bad guys being the bad guys. So, um, do H and then H12. Let's see. Is there anything else? Overlord was a whole bunch of setup this week. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I like Climb. I like Brain Unglass. I like the other dude. I like those characters. I don't hate those characters. Um, but it was just a lot of setup for this big battle that's going to happen that I'm not like really looking forward to. So that certainly hurts things if I'm like not looking forward to the big thing they're setting up. I'm mostly just like, yeah, sure. Okay, so this goes here. And then this goes here. But yeah, Overlord was. I was sort of interested in this week's How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Got a little. I still need more justification. There's a character that there was always a weirdness about this character and always like kind of like an unsettling part to the character that they hadn't explored, and they still haven't really explored enough to my liking that I would love to hear a little bit more about that. I don't know, but I don't know. A shitty thing happened at the end, and I was like, okay. I'm kind of just I want to see it through. It's gone places I didn't think it would, so I can be positive about that. But overall, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, last couple episodes have been kind of disappointing. So, uh, there's a lot of anime coming out, y'all, in October. Some might say too much anime that is made just for Pat Baer. We got count them two slice of life shows that also involve some sort of demonic or vampire thing. There is a show about a vampire girl and another girl that are friends and just like hanging out. That sounds cool. There is a show where it turns out Beelzebub, Satan's right hand man, is actually a teenage girl. And like the guy who's just been appointed like helping her out is like, wait, what? You're not what? So that seems fucking cool and stupid in a way that I'm like into. So that sounds good. There's also the normal guy who gets reincarnated as a slime in a fantasy world and is like gonna try to survive as a slime. which seems pretty cool. I'm into that. A bunch of stuff is coming out. Uh, Harold, here's the thing. I don't like spooky, but I don't. But I love slice of life plus. Now, while I do enjoy a series like Slow Start or Comic Girls, that is just about like a bunch of people doing a thing, and here they are doing their thing. When you add in like one of them's a chill vampire, my interest immediately perks up. Like Slow Start is good. Uh, Interviews with Monster Girls is great. Like that's the Pat Baer scale. So you're telling me that it's like Beelzebub's just like a teenage girl that likes fluffy things. Hell yeah. You're super cool, Pat. Thanks for doing these streams and talking about stuff you like. Sling, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I wouldn't do this if the community that has kind of built itself around it wasn't so cool. Y'all are great. And you also like, for the most part, the folks that aren't super into anime are at the very least like interested in what I'm into, or at least, indulge me in my silliness when I talk about things that I'm into. So I appreciate that very much. Y'all are super supportive of stuff, and I do really appreciate that. There's the new JoJo, which is set, I believe, in Greece. So there's a new JoJo coming out. What's the... I got to look this up. I got to look up all the stuff I said that I was going to be watching. I'm going to look up my own name. And then anime. And I do have a tweet that I wrote in 2017 that just says anime as a reply to someone. So that's very funny to me. Okay, yeah. So Modern Vampire Girl, Beelzebub, Laid Back Lady, Normal Guy is a Slime. Those are the shows. Oh, Gridman, I believe, is a Trigger show. Gridman seems kind of cool. Amnesia, go inside a computer, come out as a big robot. That seems all right. Radiant is an adventure series that I can't remember anything about. That seemed pretty cool. Last season of Fairy Tail, I'll watch that. But also Fairy Tail, I might not watch week to week. That might be something I just wait until it's all done and then binge, because I never watched it as it aired. And then Sword Art Online. I mean, we'll see. We'll see Sword Art Online. I might be into you. And then there's something about like there's another one of those like dungeon crawling games or anime with like a dude who's like really strong, but people are afraid of him. That I forget the name of. That it might be okay. I don't know, but there's a lot coming out. Since we are an anime block of the stream, I wanted to ask what your fave Gundam series is. Started to touch on another stream. The first time I watched it live. Is it Wing 000? Okay, so I watched some Gundam here and there in like fan subs. Like I was aware of it. I watched Char's Counterattack. I knew some Gundam stuff. But the first series that I watched, every episode as it aired in the US live, was Wing. And Wing is my favorite. I think the characters are fantastic. I think the characterizations are great. I think the storyline is terrible and awesome. I just love it so much. Oh, that's not the right one. I don't know what that is. Put that aside. I'll figure that later. In a second. It's for me. It has been, and it probably always will be, Wing. It's totally possible another show will come along someday that will just hit everything that I like, a Gundam show. But yeah, it's Wing. I mean, there's a soft spot in my heart for G Gundam. There's a soft spot in my heart for X because Gundam X is not good. But as a person that didn't really know a lot about mainline Gundam, it really is a retelling of a lot of things in its own universe, but is faithful to the overall arching ideas of Gundam more so than the other two. There's a lot of main universe Gundam in Gundam X. It's just the art style wasn't that good, and people really didn't care, and they weren't. After Gundam Wing, they were like, "No, we don't care about. Don't call it a new type. It's just Hero Yui. Hero Yui can do those things. He's not a new type. That kind of thing." People weren't into it. Um, so I applied these stickers. You can see them there beforehand because I really wanted the shield, the Buster, to look good because I love this stupid thing. So I really wanted that to be conveyed when I put it all together. So I applied those, and I did a pretty good job as far as stickers go. Because as you know, I'm not great with stickers, and I don't like them. So really going to check here. People in there. All right, real quick, I'm just checking Twitter to see. Okay, nothing yet. All right, I assume that my local internet will blow up a little bit when election results start coming in here. All right, so we're going to finish completing assembly here. D3. We still have to assemble the cloak, so we'll do that. And we will assemble the other piece there. Comes with another, if you want to build like the original, you can reconfigure this if you like by taking the second blade off. You can make it so it looks like the original Deathscythe blade. But I don't know why you would do that because 2 blades are better than 1. Everyone knows that. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before, there's a lot of anime coming out. I don't know how much is going to be on Crunchyroll. I mean, I assume Sword Art Online will stay on Crunchyroll. I don't know about all the shows that I saw previews of, like what's coming to what. And if anything's going to any channel I don't get. Yes, a big pair of scissors. Now, of course, Iron Blood Orphans did their version of that. They have their Jaws of Life style thing. One of the things I do like about this is a thing that they don't talk about too often. There is a rocket on this. There's a little booster rocket on the back of the second blade, the Hell Blade. And I love that so much. It's so silly and nonsensical. I'm just such a big fan of that. And you do have kind of like scissors a little bit in the drone thing there, which will go on to the arm here. And then I'm going to put the legs on, and then we will put the ends of our skirt pieces on there. And these pieces popped off. This popped off. It's annoying. Always got to have something that pops off. It can't be a model kit unless something pops off. All right, so we add the legs to our Deathscythe Hell, and then we will add F9 and F6. One might be a good kit to start with for a first timer. I see kits at Barnes & Noble. I'm always tempted, but I've never tried something. So, sling. My advice, the advice I always give is, you want to build, at the very least, you want to build in high grade first. This is a high grade. It's in the 1/100 scale high grade. So you're getting big pieces. To me, that's very important working on a kit. Like, this side piece here is just one piece. Now, if this was a master grade, this would be 6 pieces combined together. You'd be working very small and very intricate, and I don't think that's a good place to start. So I recommend the high grade. I also recommend getting a kit that is modern, right? This is a 1996 kit. Not the best place to start. I would get something that came out in the last 2, 3 years. Um, and then the thing that I always say is, if you're not really um, savvy when it comes to building, is get a kit that you like. I could build this with my eyes closed because it's a high grade. I'm good at this stuff, but also because I know what a Deathscythe looks like. When I build the Bawu, which is the next kit we'll build after we do our Lego set, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know Double Zeta, Gundam Double Zeta, so I'm not really sure what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna have to really be looking at the instructions and looking ahead and doing a lot of calculations to be like, does this feel right? I don't know if this feels right because I won't know what it feels like because I won't have built it before. Um, so those are my general recommendations. Even an SD Gundam are usually small, tiny little pieces. The super deformed kits, that's different. That's a different. It's not really the same scale per se, but I think that's the way to go is get a high grade and then of something that you like. And maybe Barnes and Noble, you'll find something that kind of appeals to you. Maybe you'll find a kit on on Amazon that looks like it's something that you'd be into. Um, the only other thing I would recommend is don't start with a Dragon Ball kit. The Dragon Ball kits, I think, not Dragon Ball. Oh, sorry, Dragon Ball actually pretty fun. Don't start with a Bandai Star Wars kit, because those are really easy, except that when they're suddenly not. Hello, the Hollow, and welcome. There are a couple tricky parts to the Bandai kits, because they're not like classed. The classes being perfect grade or the 160 scale, incredibly intricate, wonderful pieces. The 100, the master grades, which is the next one, the ones we normally work in, the high grade like this, and then the non-grades, but those you got to do research on. All right, so we do have his other scythe, like the backup scythe that lives on the back, which I think is fucking cool. And now we're gonna build our shield pieces, or kind of cloak, our jamming cloak, I believe it's called. Let me look it up. I forget what it's called, but I think it's called the jamming cloak. I can't remember. It's got a dumb name to it. No problem, Sing. Happy to help. Encouraging people to try and maybe find a new hobby is one of my favorite parts of doing this. So anytime I can, I'm always excited to do that. All right, so this shouldn't take long to do, but sometimes it's a little involved. Just getting these pieces right. You can buy one at these snipper clips anywhere. That reminds me, I have to ask the person that I'm doing a tutorial if they own something like this in a toolkit of some kind. But you can find like kits online, like starter kits that give you snipper clips and sandpaper sticks, sanding sticks, which, man, back in my day, you had to go buy sandpaper and fold it up and tear it apart. Sanding sticks rule comparatively. I don't really use them much on the stream. I do a lot of this after the fact. And then, of course, I've got my my kit that is meant for working with like iPhone repair, but the spongers I find are very helpful in separating in mistakes, and the tweezers are helpful in mistakes. And I've used the other separators before as well, but that's generally why I have this kit. Because sometimes you just screw up really badly, and using these to like pry pieces apart isn't a good idea. Some people are very good at it. When I mess up, I like to say when I mess up hard. And I mess up radically. All right, so we'll put these on there. Just kind of go on the side of shoulder pieces. Kind of just go there. Then get this guy to pose. He's not super posable, but he's pretty posable. As far as a kit that was built in 1996, it's pretty good. All right, then we got to build. We need. All right. G1 and G5. I do enjoy this kit a lot. I mean, the Hell, I do enjoy. I love the Batwigs of the Hell. Custom, the Endless Waltz version. But there is something about this kit that I do have a fondness for. I think the color scheme is just cool. I do like that, like, while it's mostly black and gray, the legs are like a gray, like a bright gray. I just think that's kind of cool. Because even though it's all about stealth for this thing and the element of surprise, it's still like, yeah, but we want it to look cool. G5. It's a big death boy. You're right, Road. It is a big death boy. It's just a conveyor of death. Here to bring you some death. And it's a 15-year-old dressed as a priest. You know, the thing that a 16-year-old Pat Baer thought was the fucking coolest. Oh, 16-year-old Pat Baer thought that Duo Maxwell, nothing was cooler than Duo. And I still love Duo. Duo is still one of my favorite pilots, if not my favorite pilot. But now I can understand that, like, it's like, okay, well, he wasn't as cool as I thought he was. Later, when he's just got the braid and the hat, I think that might be a better look. The forward baseball cap and braid might be a bit of a better look than the priest gear. We're just putting these jamming sensors on. The illusion that this does something. It's jamming radar and such. All right. So then that goes on like this. I wonder what these wings would be like in a master grade version. This whole setup. It would probably be pretty intricate. That might be the reason why it doesn't exist. That these don't exist. This kit doesn't exist in a master grade. It might just be the cloaking shield wings thing. It is pretty, like, these are big pieces. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do it. I never asked. Gundam Wing is incredibly well made to just be the absolute coolest shit for teen boys. Yep. I mean, it was calculated, right? The G Gundam is no different. G Gundam is, what if people that like fighting, you know what's really great in 1995? Fighting tournaments. What if we made a Gundam show, but it was just a fighting tournament? And people were like, fuck yes. Where do I sign up? And they were like, here. And then people were like, this seems racist. And they were like, it is. It really is. And they're like, okay. Well, I do like that you have the Devil Gundam. I do enjoy that you call this the God Gundam. That's weird. And they're like, yup, really, really is. It's a weird show. We're making a weird anime. And then we're like, okay, well, G Gundam did well, but how do we up the ante? Well, let's get some good-looking young men to be pilots, and let's not really focus on the whole child soldier thing. Instead, we'll have one of them be like real handsome, but real like mean. Like, okay, great. And we'll kind of set it at school for like a little bit, but not really. People are like, okay. G Gundam is by definition a problematic fave. There is a lot of heart. I mean, no pun intended to the King of Hearts. There is a lot of heart and a lot of compassion and pure fucking. There's a lot of finding your feelings on the battlefield by punching each other. And I think that sort of masculinity, while inherently toxic in nature, does have some redeeming qualities in a show like that. Um, um, and then it also goes to show that sometimes dads can really fuck shit up. You're like, things are going pretty good until my dad got involved. Jealousy is a bitch, man. Like, I don't like throwing away that out. That's the wrong phrasing. But basically, all of G Gundam is because like one scientist was jealous of another scientist, and then that's the whole point. The whole show is because one scientist was like, "Oh, you did that? Fuck you! I'm gonna frame you for murder. I'm gonna freeze you. Uh, my daughter's gonna get involved with your son, and I'm gonna let that happen. I'm gonna make sure that the guy on my side who trained your son to be a fighter instead of a scientist is also going to betray him. It's all fucked up. But also, then there's like incredibly racist caricatures of whole countries. And you're like, God damn it. Is that really a windmill? Is that really a fucking windmill? Okay. I don't know. So there's the cloak. You wouldn't have this piece on for the cloak. But yeah, there's our cloak on our Gundam. Fucking Deathscythe. Looking all cool. The Hollow, I don't think so. I guess the Chibi Gundam series, which is just a goofy comedy show, is that features like anthropomorphized. It's basically there's like a show that's basically Samurai Pizza Cats but Gundams, and it's not good. But that's close as sliced life as you're gonna get. And then it's usually just like the beginning 6 episodes of any mech series. Uh, like everything was quiet and cool, and mechs are cool, and then things got bad. Shit. That's usually the whole. That's basically every Gundam series. All right, let's see if there's anything I missed. Sticker application. Do I want to try to do the front stickers of this? I think I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm going to try. I can't decide how bad the Tequila Gundam shot glass that comes with the Ultra Edition of the G Gundam Blu-ray is. I mean, that's par for the course more than anything. All right, because this is a Deathscythe, and I love them, and you know I love them, I'm going to attempt to apply the stickers for the shielding. We'll see how I do. Mech series without the like mech fighting parts will be really neat. Yeah, it would be neat. I mean, like even if there is mech fighting, but it's not like make or break. I want to say duo, which is not absolute duo, but like dual, like which I believe is maybe the Tenchi Muyo creator. I can't remember somebody. I can't remember who made Dual, but I remember most of Dual was just like kind of lighthearted and mostly about just like doing whatever, and then it got fucked up. But it had a lot of like not fucked up parts in it. Don't quote me on that because it's been a long time. I might be wrong about that show. Dual. But I remember most of that series just being chill. All right. So I am slowly going to apply the sticker. I'm going to fuck it up over and over again. This isn't a decal from Lego, so I only have so many shots before I just start ruining the sticker, which is big. All right. This is not perfect, but I'm going to apply it. I just think that looks cool, and why not? Like I said, I just have so much love for this kit. I might as well give it a shot. I'm not applying all the stickers, but I'm applying more than I would normally. All right. Hello, Zandra. How are you? Um, it's pleasure to have you here. We were talking about how that we don't think there's ever been a mech series, or at least like a Gundam, at least Gundam, if not any mech series that is more of a slice of life that happens to have mechs in it. Um, well, I will say this: while there was storyline, there was a lot of time between mech usage in that War on Geminar show, which was like the alternate universe, like other universe thing, by the guy that made Tenchi Muyo. War on Geminar was like mechs, cool mechs. This guy goes to school and has to like be a cool dude at school. Mechs. So that one was a lot of slice of life. Yeah, Xandra, I couldn't help but notice that was that you had a very bad fall, and I'm very sorry to hear that. I was sorry to read about it. Um, uh, but I hope that Toronto wasn't ruined for you, and that you can still find the love for it. But that fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that you had a great fall. Um, sorry. I'm looking to find the pieces I gotta put on here. Uh, I need to check more. Yeah, you wanted Gunpla and then beefed it. Ugh. I'm glad it just scrapes. You got the Gunpla though, right? Yeah. It was. Please, 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 please tell. Really make a point. Alexandra, if you do indeed stream building, that kit, please, 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 like tweet about it, and advertise it, because I would love to check it out. Um, yeah, I'd like to see what you picked and what you're working on. Oh yeah, that's. I mean, there's nothing fun about scraping your knees, and then you're like, oh, my knees just touch pants all day. Like pants, like you forget that your like legs and knees are just touching pants like all the time. You're like, oh fuck. If like I had a scrape on my leg and I was like, whatever, it's in a weird spot. I'm not gonna touch that. And then it was just making contact with denim like constantly to the point that I was like, well, I guess I'm wearing shorts now. And I didn't even realize like how much contact I was getting. All right, well that's not perfect. There are other stickers to put on this kit, but I just did the front ones because I thought that would look cool. And you know what? I think they look pretty cool. Because I love the Deathscythe very much. And other than the super deformed one that maybe I'll build someday, this is the last Deathscythe that I'll be building unless they release one in the future. Maybe maybe for an anniversary, which would be in 2026, be another big anniversary of it. So maybe not. 2021, maybe they'll release one for that anniversary. Who knows? You never know. They put that Tall Geese Master Grade repaint out. That was pretty cool. So there are some pieces here. It looks like there's some leftover pieces from other versions of the kit, which is fine. Take that. We'll save those. This was in the 90s where sometimes they just had pieces that were for other versions or other kits, or for you could modify it. They were really into that. So put those there. And then oh, good night, Harold. Thanks for jumping in. Harold, thank you for the cheer, as always. So lovely of you. Thank you. Uh, I ended up getting a bunch of Gundam Age mecha because I really like their design. Cool. That's awesome, Xandra. It's very, very cool. Um, but yeah, I'm excited that you'll be trying some build stuff out. I mean, I love it, so I highly recommend. All right, so let me put these last pieces on here, and then I will do my adverts where I tell you about ways that you can support the stream and me as a streamer, and then we will start building some Lego because this Deathscythe is done. I do think the sticker application here is pretty smart. I think it adds a lot to it. But yeah, that's the Deathscythe. The Deathscythe Hell, I should say. Rules. It rules so much. All right, I'm going to cough. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. Extra pieces in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. We'll put that in there. We are going to pull out one of our tools of our spreader, which we'll use to help add decals to our Lego set. Honestly, made it look over. I mean, I love it so much, Alexandra. It's a hobby that I let go as I pursued other things, and I'm so happy that I've had the time to go back to it because I just love it so much. Okay, so let's say hello. We're going to take a short little business break here. I'm going to go into this shot, my typical green screen shot, and say hello. The easiest way to support me is to become a subscriber here on Twitch. You can use your Twitch coin, which I understand that Twitch Prime is going to start sucking for people. For me, it's good till December. In December, when my Amazon Prime renews, Twitch Prime I'll suddenly start seeing ads, and I know that's going to affect a bunch of people. But you can also just spend $5 a month and become a subscriber. The money I make from that, as well as my other ventures, goes into me buying model kits and equipment. I bought this. I bought this Deathscythe because I've wanted to build it. And that money came out of the money that people put in. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is by becoming a Patreon backer. Patreon, I'm at $106 a month right now, which is awesome. If I make it to $150 a month, I'm going to add another day streaming. It will just about justify more kits per month by hitting that $150 mark. I'd probably only stream like an hour in that afternoon stream, but I would add an hour, so we would go from 4 hours a week to 5 hours a week, and from 2 streams a week to 3 streams a week. So that's the thing. I like to hit that $150 mark. That's one way you can support. There's rewards. $5 gets the video early. $10 gets to vote on kits that I build. Speaking of kits that I build, so the next 2 kits I'm building, the U-Wing Fighter, the Lego set that I'm going to be building, and then the Bawu Re 100 that I'm going to build after that, came off my Amazon wish list. And those always jump the line because I always have a bunch of kits that I build, that I buy. But take a look at the wish list. And then if there's something that's not on the wish list, you're like, it'd be cool if you built this. Let me know. If it's available on Amazon, definitely if it has Amazon Prime, I'll definitely look at it. I like looking at kits. The Bawu is because people were like, hey, check this kit out. I put it on there, and it got purchased, which is fucking rad. Of course, those watching on YouTube, this is all going to be in the archive. I also have a coffee. You can just tip if you're like, I don't know. I have like $6. I could give you $6 right now. Hey, tip jar. That's rad. Once again, that money goes into me buying kits and then building. When I get my check from Twitch every month, or every couple months these days, when I get my monthly payment from Amazon or from Patreon, when I get my tips into my PayPal, all that goes into buying kits. And then eventually, my YouTube is going to hit $100. I'm very close to hitting $100 on YouTube. And when I hit $100, Google has to pay me money in AdSense. I'm very close. So maybe watch a YouTube video of mine. I'm going to link a couple YouTube videos. Here is the improvised post-mortem from PAX West, this year's PAX West. I did that. You could watch that video. Um, you could watch the video of the Lego Challenge, which I did, that features Charlie Chu and Abby Russell. That video's here. I get ad revenue from ads from those videos. And then there's a video that I don't get any ad revenue on, but people have been asking about it, so I'll include it. League of Heels, West Coast Wishes. I don't get any money from that. Lashbrook, I think it was really fun. I learned a lot doing it. I'm going to have more involved kits for the next one because the kits were too basic for the people that built. But Trin Garetano, from formerly of Cards Against Humanity, now of Kickstarter, will be one of my guests at PAX Unplugged for the Lego Challenge. And her competitor slash co-panelist, TBA. TBD, really. I think that's it. Oh, my Discord. I didn't link my Discord. Get into my Discord. I have the Build-A-Bear Community Discord. It's pretty cool. You could pop into that if you wanted to. Jump in there. Get into it. Get in it. But yeah, tell a friend. If you watch these streams, you just follow my link on Twitch or on Twitter. Consider following and then also consider subscribing. This is a big book. I will say, the finish I don't love on this book. Usually it's a little shinier. It comes with a separator. Let's go to the overhead shot. Need... What the... Oh no. There it is. Put that there. Oops. Sorry about that, y'all. Here we go. So this is the U-Fighter. Lego Rebel U-Fighter. A U-Wing fighter. Yeah, this booklet isn't as, like, shiny as some of their other books. Enjoyed the Lego Challenge. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you very much, VT. I appreciate that, J-Man. This is 600 something pieces. This will be a nice, good kit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our booklet here so that we can have it. We'll put the booklet right here. This is where it's going to be when we build. I can put this mouse over there. We don't need this mouse anymore. I'll put it up there for now. For thousands of years, I'll lay dormant. Oh. Hello. Hello and welcome. I'm sorry if we disturbed your slumber. We are just a simple build show. We're doing some Lego right now. We're going to build a U-Wing. You know, I like the X-Wing. I love the Y-Wing. I like the B-Wing a lot. A-Wing is pretty cool. The U-Wing, I'm not super, you know, I'm not a stand for, right? It's a good kit. This is going to be a good looking kit. So I am excited to build that part. For that, I am excited. But yeah, this wasn't a thing where I was like, oh, I can't wait to do it. It was like, oh, this is fucking cool. And also, I like a big Lego set. Hello, Asmo, welcome. I like a big Lego set because it means that I get to really dig into something. You know, I'm one quick to point out that Star Wars kits are very dark gray, light gray, black, and white. There's some color in this. Not a whole lot, but there is some color. So I do look forward to doing that. Right now I'm going to be doing knolling, which big Lego sets are great, Road. Saying, what year is this? Well, it's 2018. People assemble Lego. I don't know if you know this or not, but when Disney bought Marvel and then bought Star Wars, Lego was like, oh, let's just put out a bunch of kits, and then people will spend way too much money, and they'll pay the Star Wars tax and the Marvel tax. And people were like, grumble, grumble, grumble. Yes, here's my money. And it has been a very profitable partnership for them. The Star Wars kits are definitely made with love. I really do enjoy them. And the other kits are good too. There's a little bit of felt here from one of the. You know you got a good kit when one of the minifigs has felt cape. That's a good sign. But yeah, we're just knolling. Those of you that haven't watched my streams, Nolan is just separating by color. If I was doing this pre-stream, which I will often do, for Saturday I will have done some knolling pre-stream. I will then separate by actual piece and kind of stack them and organize them. But for this, I'm just separating by color. It still saves so much time and energy. We do have about 50 minutes left of the stream. And if I was just digging is not the way to build. It just isn't. Some people will take all the boxes, like they have giant, huge tables. They will open up all the bags. I go bag by bag in my style. Um, Separate bag by bag. Because yeah, I think it's too much to do like several at once. And then I'm just putting minifig pieces where they go, separating by color. That's actually that, yeah. Makes sense for stream. I've never done that. I always just keep piles based on the back. Yeah. For a stream, it's really easy to just be like, okay, and then I add this gray piece. Gray piece. It's one of these pieces. It also helps a lot for me because generally when I'm reading a book, light gray and dark gray don't blend too well. They occasionally blend in a way that is unhelpful for me. Or like there's a maroon, not maroon, a navy blue. There's a navy blue piece that doesn't look like it's in this kit, but sometimes looks dark gray to me. And especially if the book has a black background, which some of these books do, it's sometimes a little difficult for me anyway to be able to see what I'm looking at. So by doing this, I can just go, okay, it's a black piece. Let me separate, figure it out. It's super helpful for. Also, that way I can put this bag over here, and then you don't hear a crinkly bag, which is great for y'all. Some of y'all would get the tingles. You get the good tingles on that bag, but I know not everybody would, including me. I don't get the good tingles. I don't get the crinkle tinkles on that stuff. Just started sorting by bags. They found sorting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I usually just sort, like I also have seen people that just like dump bags in different sections and just go. But our workspace is pretty large, but not that large. Our workspace is unfortunately taken up a bit by the monitors that are right there that are, important for me to see what's going on. Yeah, this is a 600 something piece kit. The box is far away, and I can't see it from here. But it should be a couple days build, which I like. That high grade that we just finished. Started that on Saturday, finished it today. Love it. Think it looks cool as hell. But it came and went. Now you know that there are projectiles in this because these pieces are built for projectiles. That is the only function those pieces seem to have. And then, yeah. Honestly, I've been eyeing some of the new Star Wars Lego kits. They look so good. Yeah. So this is this is the U-wing fighter. This is the Rebel U-wing fighter. I have the box, but it's that way. Yeah, there are a bunch of Star Wars kits that look real good. Oh yeah. And you got the Z95 Headhunter. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do like that kit. Um, I was very happy to build the Y wing. The Y wing is so cool looking. I was happy to put that together. And the speeders and the different X-wings. The Yoda X-wing was fun. The hover tank was good. The AT-ST was fun to build. Obviously, those that haven't been watching for the year that the year plus I've been doing this, I built a lot of Star Wars Lego. One, because I'm interested in it, and two, people y'all seem to be interested in it. I've done a little bit of the Ninjago stuff. I have one more dragon left to build. I have the green Chinese luck dragon kit to build that I will do at some point. Ninjago stuff. I have a Strider Walker thing. Yeah, the mech dragon and the Strider. I have a race speeder, but that is a very small kit. That speeder is going to take like no time to build, and I might end up taking that with me to go to. I might guest on a live stream at some point in the near future, where I will go and teach a particular person how to build a model kit. They received a model kit in the mail, and they've never assembled one before, and so I might have a Lego kit with me just to have a Lego kit. But if and when that happens, as I said, I will let people know if I'm suddenly on a different live stream doing building. We'll see. I can't say for sure that's going to happen, but it might. This is a weird. Sometimes I like pointing out weird pieces. This is just a weird looking piece. I got two of them. Got a gun here and weapons. We're almost done knolling, and then we can get into the fun part, which is the build process. And if we don't get through this bag, the nice thing is I can just leave it on the table. Because I have this table set out. I'm going to move it a little way out of my way. Move it against a wall. There's a wall right here where the thing gets weird sometimes. Green screen gets odd sometimes. Yeah, that didn't fix it. Oh well. I'll just shove my body like this and block it with my body. All right, so yeah, we got a few different colors in here. More red than I was expecting. One brown piece there. But yeah, we'll get started on assembly in just a moment. Let's see. We talked about stuff in the future with that. Okay, so let's ask. Write in the chat the Nintendo Direct. If you were following the Nintendo Direct, what are you excited about? What are you not excited about? Do you care about the inclusion of a character in Smash Brothers? Do you care about the fact that the game that character is from has a game coming out next year? Are you excited about some of the announcements of the random games that are coming to Switch, because all games must be on Switch eventually? Katamari, a Katamari on Switch is just a smart call. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know, which kind of Katamari we're getting. Because some say there's really only one good Katamari and then a bunch of other Katamaris. Some people say that. I don't know if that's me. But I could be excited about that, yeah. Yep, we got another Luigi's Mansion. Animal Crossing. I think Animal Crossing, I'm excited about that. The Animal Crossing fake out where you were like, new Animal Crossing, no, character in a game. And people were like, okay, actually, game. And you're like, fuck, what are you doing? That was pretty cool. I thought that was rad as hell. That fake out was great. Because I also kind of gave. I'm probably not going to get Animal Crossing. I don't need that game in my life. Happy for y'all, but it's not a game that I'm particularly jonesing for. So I'm good. But y'all seem very happy about new Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, City Skyline. That's right. Oh yeah, and all the. I think the follow up announcement is that a lot of those games are also a lot of those Final Fantasy games, if not all those Final Fantasy games, are also going to be on the Xbox, and that's weird too. I think. I think all of it's weird, but yeah, there were a lot of cool announcements. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of games to be excited about. Isabella in Smash is pretty fun. I like that. All right, we got a missile launcher here, and oh, we got to build this dude. This guy here. Don't even give me instructions on how to build this guy. They're like, he's a guy. He's got hair. You can do it. He's got. I'll give him a smirk. Haha. And a gun. Boom. And then we'll take these minifigs, put them in the extras bag. Always keeping my extras in a bag just to make things easier. And great, now we can move on. Dark Souls, good Switch. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I know that that was a comment many people made, was that this Nintendo Direct felt like it was what E3 should have been. And it's interesting because it's basically there. We're not going to TGS, but like, we don't have really present TGS, but like, hey, we're Nintendo. So, I don't know. Yeah, overall, some good stuff. Happy for friends that, want new stuff for their Switch, that don't just want, like, I mean, everything's coming to the Switch, right? I can't remember what else was just like, hey, we lied. We're actually coming to the Switch. Like, just something just got announced as well. Like a bunch of indie stuff from a couple years ago is also coming there. And it's like, cool. Sometimes you miss stuff, so it's nice to have it, especially with the portability. Oh, you know what? I never finished The World Ends With You. I liked The World Ends With You a lot. I just never finished it. Might be worth a investigation. All right. Um, as always, the real secret of doing Lego while talking to a camera is to really pay attention to what pieces you need so that you're not skipping a step. And then also being okay with skipping a step, because you've got your tool. You can make mistakes and repair those mistakes. Not too difficult. With not much difficulty, I should say. But, it's a lot cooler if you don't fuck up. All right, and then we'll do the same thing we just did on the other side. That's good. I know where the pieces I need are because they're color coordinated. Knolling is such a wonderful thing. I never did as a kid, but it makes life a lot easier, in my opinion. Uh, yeah, Road. Like I said, I really like The World Ends With You, but I do have a tendency when it comes to RPGs to just like never finish them because you put so many hours into them, especially handheld ones, and then something else comes out. Especially when it came to handhelds. When it came to handhelds, I would often be like, "Well, here's a new thing that lives in my Game Boy," uh, and then something would fall by the wayside, and then it would just be gone forever. Okay, and then we need these two here. Try to build so you can see what I'm doing here. Oops. Okay. Makes sense. So these are not connected by anything. That's the next step. I was like, did I miss a step? Why is this not working? And it's because I haven't done it yet. 3. Gotta find one more of those. There it is. So yeah, let me take a real quick look at the Nintendo Direct thing. See if there's anything in there. Kirby's Epic Yarn coming to 3DS. I don't know if I'll buy it on 3DS. I might. I love that game. Katamari Reroll, Luigi's Mansion 3, Bowser's. I've never really liked the Bowser's Inside Story games. Yoshi's Crafted World. That looked cool. I like that. Town. I don't know anything about Town. Pokemon teams next game. I think I might have missed that actually in the thing. I wasn't paying attention to everything. Uh, there's Pandemic and Settlers, digital board games on the Switch. There's something kind of interesting about that, especially the idea of taking the Switch on the go. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm like sold on it, but it definitely is interesting. Huh. I haven't quite made my mind up yet on that one. Diablo 3. You know, Lashbrook, Diablo 3 should probably be on every platform, so it makes total sense to me that it will be coming out. Because yeah, it should probably be on everything. Hmm. Nope. Didn't work out. What did I do wrong? Hmm. Ah, I attached this incorrectly. See, here's the thing. You're speeding along. I'm making progress. This is there's one on this side, and there's three on this side, and it's on wrong. I need the three to be on this side. That's a simple error. I didn't notice that. Luckily, was easy to fix, but could have been annoying to fix. Because I was like, two of these holes should be plugged up with this, and they're not. And I didn't understand why. So there we go. That makes way more sense. Yep. And it goes. Yeah. All right. That makes so much more sense. All right. Moving right along. Two of these. Two of these. Speaking of games on everything, should I get Skyrim for my flight tomorrow? You have Octopath, Dead Cells, and Money Puzzle Exchanger. I mean, I guess the real question is, are you going to be outside of the flight? Are you going to go back to it? If you already have games to play, are you excited about those games? I guess I only actually have only ever owned Skyrim on the PC because mods exist and I like mods. So, to me, other ways to play that, like I don't even own it like on a console because I'm like, nah, that's not how I do it. All right, I have a lot of different sizes of these pieces. So it's not to scale. None of it's to scale. But what I can do is I can just count to figure out what I need because I want to make sure I'm using the right one on here. So I'm just going to do a quick count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 10. Great. So it's the larger two pieces are the ones I want, which makes sense. And then two small here. Money Puzzle Exchanger is very, very fun. You're not wrong. I also could have looked because there's just like one notch and one notch here. That's another way to line it out. But if you can count them, I usually say count them. It's a good way to see what size piece you need. Unless they do the one-to-one. Sometimes they'll do a one-to-one scale on there. And you can just put the piece right there and you go, that piece. We're about flying with less than 7,000 hours of entertainment. I understand, Asmo. Asmo, my flight back from Seattle, I was like, okay, I got a bunch of videos that I downloaded with a YouTube Ripper, so I can catch up on my YouTube videos. I had like a video left that I didn't watch on from my flight out. I'm like, I've got all this stuff. I've got my in-flight stuff. I've got a comic book to read. I had the Dream Daddy book. Hadn't read that yet. I was like, I am golden. Fell asleep for most of my flight back from Seattle, which fucking ruled. It's not my usual MO. So it was awesome to have all that stuff, and I didn't need it. Then I just re-downloaded all of it when I got home. All right, so 2 spots in there. Is this right? Okay. That looks right. Okay. And what happens sometimes is you just go on about your business and you're like, wait, where'd that piece come from? You just like completely missed it. So far that has not happened, but totally could. Weeks ago, instead of just watching the anime, I downloaded, listened to music, I played some Picross. Yeah, that happens, Road. Uh, yeah, it sounds like you're all set, Asmo. Safe travels and safe flight and all that. I don't generally ask for prayers or anything like that. That's not my mo. That's not my modus operandi. Um, uh, but if people could have some good thoughts in their heart for my parents, who are fine. They are fine right now. They evacuated. As many of you know, my folks retired to South Carolina, and storms are coming and a going. So they evacuated and they are currently in a hotel in Georgia, which should be fine. There's no imminent threat to them, but it looks like they will be trapped there. They'll be there probably about 6 days total. They got there yesterday, um, so we're hopeful that everything will be okay and they'll come back to their house. Their house is like just like one level, so here's hoping that the streets don't flood too much and that they don't flood too much. Um, they are off a golf course, so I'm very hopeful that the golf course just soaks up all of the water and is damaged and not my parents' home. Uh, but that's you live in that area of the country. That is unfortunately a thing you have to deal with. Very unfortunately, and they will just soldier on. I'm going to give them a call tomorrow to check in. But yeah, um, they took all the food out of the fridge to like because they're staying in a place that has a fridge. So that way, like my dad could have lunch and keep his lunch meats, and they're trying to make the best of it and trying to treat it like a little vacation. But the worry is clearly there. So hopefully it'll all work out for them. Keeping good thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy they're safe. They evacuated. My parents are. I mean, we are survivalists. We are New Englanders. We are head down, shoulders up, walk into the hurricane, keep going through the hurricane. Let's get out of this hurricane. Um, we bunkered up when I was a kid during Hotel Gloria in 1986 to date me there. But for this, parents are not spring chickens anymore. They're like, why would we stay? Let's go. Let's just drive to another state and get out of here for a while, which I'm very happy about. I'm glad they did. I was very. I'm not a pushy son. I don't make demands, but I was very happy that I did not have to attempt to persuade them to evacuate. They just decided it was time to do it, which is good. Because if you ever see me acting very stubborn, completely like not illogically stubborn, like, hey, Pat, just breathe and think about what you're doing, but I won't, and I'm like, no, this is the way we do it, and we're doing it. I get that from my mom and my dad. They both have that, which is why I have that, and it's awful. It's an awful trait that I work very hard to suppress as much as possible. But if you ever see me like stress about that kind of stuff, because like, so I have a combination of my parents. My dad never gets mad; he just seethes, and my mom gets mad out of nowhere, and cause things have been building up that you didn't know about. And she just gets mad, and so I am not mad until I am very mad. but I also am very stubborn about things that I should like and do things without really examining them that much a lot of the times. Where I'm like, well, that's the way we do it, and I don't often enough I don't go, well, why do I do that? Let me think about why I do that. I don't have that. I'm getting better at that. That is a self-help thing that I am working on. Is getting better at that. Live through a hurricane and do not wish to do it. Asmo, I totally understand. Um, I've had a couple hurricanes hit New York. They have been very mild, and in fact, 2, 4, 10, in fact, have been like downgraded. Like they were so mild that like people got mad about the reaction that New York had. Irene was one of them. Sandy was bad. Hurricane Sandy was bad for a lot of people, including people in New Jersey that never recovered. Just a friend of mine worked for a place in Atlantic City that just never reopened. They just took the insurance money and never reopened. Then she had to get a different job because that it was just that they were like it's not worth it to rebuild. So Sandy, I was very lucky about. Irene turned out to not be a big deal, which was great. Um, but yeah, I've been very lucky. But I did hunker down in my house when I was 6, and indoor camping with Dad and Mom was how we handled Hurricane Gloria. Fun fact about Hurricane Gloria: no property damage to our house. We were on a hill, except for my swing set. Now, if this is my swing set here, and there's swings, there's a swing there, and this is the big pole at the top, it goes down. Tree went like this, like tree went down, like bent like this, like down. It totally destroyed my swing set. Luckily, it didn't hit our house, but definitely completely and utterly crushed my swing set, which I was probably getting it too old for, but still traumatic. I'm gonna cough. Pardon me. All right, swing two of these. Two of these. Yeah. So I don't recommend. I mean, sometimes you gotta, right? Sometimes you gotta just like hunker down, and you don't have the ability to bail out, so you can't bail out, and you just have to make the best of the situation and the hand you've been dealt. And I respect that and understand it, but also, if you can avoid it, please avoid it. Yes, nature is often the best case for staying inside. I was joking that I don't really go to comedy shows too much, but I'll be going to Mike Drucker's show tomorrow. And that's not really a joke. That is just the facts. I go to comedy shows 4 nights a week when I'm working at comedy shows, and I love it, and it's rad as hell. But I also am like, what if I didn't go out? And now, 2 nights a week, I do this, which really, because it's 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time, really cuts into my going out. Like on a Saturday, I have gone out after stream, but it kind of like is my night, which is perfect because then I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Then I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. I got my live stream. Hee hee hee. Get to hang out in my apartment where it's my place. As a nice benefit. But on a Friday, I do try to occasionally go and see people. And Mike Drucker, people know, he's written on a bunch of television shows. Right now, he's working on Samantha Bee's show. But he's worked on The President's Show. He worked on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. He worked very kind of briefly up at noon when Greg Miller was still at IGN. He Mike worked for Nintendo for Treehouse. He helped localize and add jokes and add appropriate localized jokes for Kid Icarus, the Kid Icarus 3DS. Mike is, and also just a great stand-up and all around good dude. Um, did I put these in the wrong? Put those on wrong. These went on wrong. Gotta undo my thing. I was talking and did a thing wrong. Luckily, I caught it early enough. So there, these go over here. Different than how I did it. Here's the way it's supposed to actually go. Haha. Formerly of IGN, the only one. Yes. Yes. Dan is going to be doing Mike's show, kind of last minute. The last time he did it in New York, Alex Navarro did it, and it was very fun. Samantha Kalman happened to be in town, so I got to see Samantha, and then I got to see Alex do the make-em-ups, jokes, which was like a fun treat because that's not necessarily Alex's MO. But yeah, it was fun to watch that. So I'm excited to see it again. I like the show. I like to do it at some point. They play very bad video games on like a Retron. Mike just collects through eBay and his own collection terrible games, and then people play them, and they like the guests, mostly stand-ups. Dan is doing it. Uh, uh, like they trade off, and then everyone kind of makes fun of the game, and it's fun. It's a little, it's a fun, mean show because you're just looking at these terrible games and being like, this is not good. And occasionally, they get comedians on there who are very funny, but have no real connection to modern video games or even old video games. So they're like, was this good at the time? And it's like, no, this educational fake Mario game was never good. 8 out of 9 Lego Star Wars kits I've built. I'm sure the one I fucked up on and to break down and redo. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I really don't mess up when I'm just building for fun because I'm focused on the build. I mean, I'm doing other things here and there, but I'm also really focused on the build part, which I can't really do with y'all, which is fine because it's also like we're having a conversation about things and talking, and I'm seeing what's up with y'all, and it's good to do. Way more interested in that than anything else. But yeah, like I just put this piece on in the wrong spot because I'm talking about fucking up, and then I fucked up. It goes there. It goes that. Great. And then these two go here. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely done some of these Lego sets where I'm like, oh shit, I jumped like a bunch of steps somehow. Oh no. And then you're just like, well, it's a good thing the separator exists. Let's get to separating. Or I'll use my sponger because sometimes the separator isn't going to get the job done. All right, and this goes here. Just starting to sweat. We're towards the end of the stream. I've just started to pick up a little bit of a sweat here. And just fine. 2 of these and this one piece here. Gotta put this edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but yeah. So tomorrow I'm actually gonna go out on a Friday night. That was actually the point of that anecdote, was that I'm gonna go out and like do something. I don't know if he's definitely gonna do it, but my hoping is that Ben and his Ben Pack and his significant other, who were in New York on vacation, I gave them suggestions of some comedy shows to go see. I don't know if they're gonna see any of them, but I'm hoping they'll go tomorrow to see Drucker's show, because since Stan's in it, which would be fun, and then I get to see them, and that'll be nice. But yeah, Ben's on vacation in New York. I gave him suggestions of some shows to see. Those recommendations extend out to people. Always feel like you could tweet at me. Hey, Pat, I'm going to be in New York. What should I see? and I will tell you things that will include things that the company that pays my rent, and but also shows that are rad and cool as hell. Like, I would love to tell, like, if you were in New York on Monday, I would say you should go see Gay by Play. Now, Gay by Play is an incredible improv show uh, that is teams featuring queer performers as well as straight improvisers, some allies. Doing improv, and then there's color commentary. The play-by-play that's happening is done by the artistic director of our theater, and then another longstanding community member, and they just comedically tear shit up. The music that the performers have to come out to is very important. The show, like the pomp and circumstance, is very important, and then the improv is also fun. And it's like, it's one of those things where like other cities have good improv, but I don't know if they have that show. If they can fucking do that fucking show, I don't think so. So those are the kind of things that I like to suggest to people when they ask me about, hey, what show should I see? I'm like, here's this thing. Here's The Living Room. It's an improv show, and it's all first generation Americans. So everyone who's doing the show, their parents came from immigrated from another country, and they tell monologues about their childhoods, and they find common ground, and that's just the improv. It's The Living Room, the first generation, and it's a very unique improv show. Because I could tell you 15 improv shows that are like five white dudes and a lady of color do improv, and it's very funny and very heady and very smart. I could list a lot of shows, but I do like to try to say, like, here's this thing. It's different. It's cool. Like, this is a unique experience. My friend Mac was in town, and I sent him to a show called 50 which happens monthly at UCB. It is all Spanish language improvisers who also speak English. They do about 50% in English, 50% in Spanish. They jump in the middle of scenes. They have their own DJ. It's 50 is an experience that I don't know. There are other cities that are probably doing it, but like I know that it's happening in my city, and it fucking rules. It's also like really good improvisers too, not just the gimmick. The gimmick is rad, but also they're great improvisers. So it's like a 1-2 punch. I'd rather promote that than promote a show called Improv Nerds, which is a very funny show with very talented people, one of whom I was on a team with and love. But also it's like, yeah, it's just four improvisers that are good. That's not the same as 50 That's one Wednesday versus another Wednesday. Like that's kind of how I feel about it when I'm telling people about shows. Like I can tell you about this like solid improv show, or I can tell you about this in completely nonsensical thing called Strangers Wanted, which is the former artistic director of our theater has a talk show where she just pulls people from the audience. Like she has like a dumb drum kit and pulls someone from the audience and sits them down and goes, "You're our band leader." She pulls somebody up to be the first guest and interviews them, and the whole show is people pulled from the audience to create this talk show. All the guests, all the other things, the announcers pulled from the audience, and people like give their names and what they're comfortable doing. That's a unique experience that I'm like, people should check this out. Which is more fun than I think like, here's a sketch show. They're funny. They're very funny. And here's their funny sketch show. Like that stuff's cool. Can be cool, but I don't know. I like people to be able to go away with like, I saw this really weird thing that Pat told me I had to see. Yeah, it is really incredible. It's sometimes it's awful. Like you end up with somebody that, like Shannon, who runs the show, Shannon O'Neill, is very good at reading people and being like, "Oh, you're just the right level of weird to make this work," or "Oh no, you are too weird for this segment. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Go sit down." And like she can be mean about it when she needs to, and it's an incredible show that like just can sometimes just go completely off the rails and be a nightmare, but other times is like joyful in its complete nonsense and wonderfulness. Um, yeah, it's like it's completely weird, and I do really like that show a lot. I remember once they were talking to a guy, like interviewing somebody, and it was kind of like uh, it just kind of like it worked, but it could have been whatever. And then they just like made a revelation about like who their parents were, and it was someone that Shannon knew. And so we like Googled them and like found their like found photos on their Facebook of Shannon, the host, and it was this very surreal thing where the guest was like, "I had no idea you knew." Like my dad knew you, and it was this very weird thing, and like incredible. Um, oh, Xander, yeah, we got a couple minutes left in the show. So I have I'll I'll go a little peek behind the curtain here for everybody. So I'm doing this all in OBS, and I have a green screen, a green sheet that I have Velcro on, and the other side of the Velcro is stapled into my wall, and I just peel it down, and then I use an effect in OBS, the chroma key, which right there. It's not perfect, which is why you see the fuzzy there. Obviously, it's not like as taunt as it should be. I should do long strips of Velcro instead of what I do here, which is small sections of it because it's easier to take on and off. Um, uh, if I had a studio, this would be on, it would be very well lit. It would be on poles, and it would be on a C frame or a U frame or C frame or an A frame. It wouldn't be on a wall, like a literal wall, like a little front of a wall. That would not be the case. But since I only use it twice a week, or maybe even 3 times a week at some point, this is the easiest setup I have. And then I just have some lights. And then, yeah. And it's not perfect, and my lights aren't perfect. Um, let's get like, I just have some lights here, reflected off. I inherited this kit from a friend who got out of the business of doing comedy videos, and while I was looking to get into green screening, just so happened the green screen stuff just so happened to post like, "Hey, someone take these lights," and I was like, "I will take these lights." They're not great. They're beat up from traveling to shoots and stuff, various comedy locations, but for me, they're perfect. Um, All right. Yeah. So that's like, and it's a really basic setup. I just have the lights shining. I have a lamp that I have behind the monitor that helps with the light hitting the table. Um, and I just try to balance it out as much as possible. Like obviously, like I end up getting kind of washed out because the lighting isn't even. I should go and buy a bunch of lights and string them up and have them hooks and have them a row of lights like right here shining on the green screen and shining on me so that it's even, or actually above me so that it doesn't hit the shadows. I don't have that. If I had a studio space, I would this webcam would also have a light on it. I would do that. Like there are things I know I could do if I was really building up the space, but right now I'm not doing that. But yeah, the green screen thing was a thing that I just wanted to do this. When uh, my early days. Let's go to we'll do the Deathscythe one because I don't care about that. This is my early days. I was this. I would have this here, and I would have oops, not locked. This here, and I would go like this, and then I would have the chroma key off, and it would just be like whatever background was there. And this is how I streamed. The first a bunch of streams I did was just like this. And of course, it was like either a black background from a curtain, which just kind of break things up, or sometimes it was on location because I was filming, and then I would put like this image like down here and kind of balance it that way. And that's how I built. The whole thing and the idea of the green screen was one, I could make League of Heels videos that were stupid in the best possible way because I thought that would be way more fun to do it like that. And then two, um, that way I can do what I do now, which is this. And then of course the chroma will come back. You can even see the light's not balanced behind me. I have to get better at that. But yeah, there's a little green screen lesson for you. I also watched a tutorial on YouTube of someone doing this very thing in OBS, and that's how I learned how to do it in OBS. I was like using a green screen with OBS, and the guy like very patiently took people through the steps, and I learned how to do it that way. All right, there's only a couple more steps on here. Let's see. Whatever. We'll go over a little bit. Let's finish this bag, and then we will. That way, I'll be able to start fresh with a new bag on Saturday. So we'll go over a little bit. I'm having fun. Oh, YouTube tutorials are the best. Fun fact about Pat Baer, I'm still not good at tying ties, and I have bookmarked several YouTube videos on how to tie a tie in different styles. These pieces, I don't know what these are for. They're like, they're meant to be removable. That's kind of cool. Weird. We'll put it like that. Okay. Yeah, we're going to finish off. So we'll go a little over. I'm feeling good. I'm not coughing as much as I thought I would be today, so we can finish up our pieces here. Get some blues. Finish all these up. Which will look real cool. This looks very cool. But yeah, these things are rocking under here now, which is kind of weird. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just like sometimes. Oh, I remember a friend of mine was gonna give me a ride into the city, and his car had stalled out, and we had to jump his car, the battery, and neither of us had ever done that, and we were like, and he was like, "What the fuck do we do?" And I was like, one of us should get our phone out and go on YouTube," and he was like, "Oh yeah," so we like. Not only did we watch a video, we watched a video with literally the make and model of his car. So the battery was slightly different and there were some changes there. But we looked up how to jumpstart his car. And I was like, thank you so much, YouTube. You'll never know how much of a hero you are right now to me. To me, you are incredible, YouTube. Oh, it was so nice. And it worked. Yeah, we got it done. But it was like, we were definitely worried about it. Oops. This is supposed to hang over. Go. Like that. And yeah, but that was a lifesaver having those tutorials. Really did help us out a ton. And all right, that's bag one. These are our extra pieces. We always save our extra pieces in there. But yeah, this is the beginning of our U-wing. We're about to start step 41 of many, many steps. Let's see how many steps we got. 41 of 202. We've got a ways to go. But I'm excited to work on this. But yeah, that was bag one of 5. Oh, yeah. Yes, Asmo. And then you have to hit why. I don't like this channel. Don't tell me about these things because they're terrible. Yes. Even like every video thing eventually leads to something where you're like, no, why do you have your I hate feminism video? Why did this happen? Who hurt you? Who do you perceive hurt? Who do you perceive hurt you? Because no one actually did. All right, well, we are at 11:01, which is a good ending point. Thank you so much for sticking with me. This doesn't look like we did much, but believe me, it's going to turn into a big, cool vehicle, and we're going to be excited that we watch. I mean, it's going to turn into this thing. And it's cool looking. So thanks so much for joining me here on the Build with Bear workshop. I'll be back on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Archival, this will be up tomorrow. Patreon supporters at the $5 plus level, get it now. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. And then I have to turn off the stream. Goodbye.